etc. She has also worked on the prestigious Advanced Ultra Supercritical project. She is an ardent quizzer and has won many national level quiz competitions. She has recently joined IEI RLC. We have a great pleasure in welcoming you, madam. I request all the participants to make full use of this session and be more interactive. Once again, I welcome you one and all. Ma'am, you can start.
Good evening, all. First of all, I want to thank the opportunity given our chairman and the secretary of Ranipet local chapter. I'm indeed honored to have this presentation in that part of 100th year of our engineering. Here I'm going to start with my presentation, Sustainability in Home and Everyday Life. I mean the construction side and as well as what we can do in our everyday life as part of sustainability. First, sustainability is not something new to our daily life. We imbibe this value from our parents. Our parents, every day they take, they tell us, you do this, so that you will be reducing the cost. You do this so that you will be saving something for the future. These things are nothing but our day-to-day sustainability. What we are going to discuss is sustainability in a framed structure, but this is not something new to our Indian life. We generally don't waste even the newspapers. We tend to recycle that for some money, but then indirectly we are saving the pollution as well as we are recycling those, and even from the milk cover, everything. It is inbuilt and it is a part of our culture. So here I'm going to describe first initially about the construction side, how the sustainability is being achieved. Basically, sustainability is a balance between the environment, equity, and economy. How we attain this balance? Certain sources, we take it from the environment, like for fuel, petrol, diesel, all those things. And we have to balance it in such a way that it should not exhaust everything in our generation. Our future generation also should be able to enjoy the benefits and the privileges at the same economy and the same equality in the future. So that is the ultimate aim of the sustainability. Let us talk the sustainability. In other words, in the sense of construction, it is nothing but the green buildings. The green buildings is a structure that is nothing different other than the ordinary buildings. But in certain things, if we take care,
Madam, sorry to disturb you. Actually, there is a whistling sound. If you have two devices connected at the same place, then this type of sound will come. Supposing you just check for you are connected with only one device, please, madam.
So now it is clear, sir.
Okay.
So this green buildings is nothing very much different than the ordinary buildings, but in the way of design, building, everything, when we are going to design a concrete structure, we follow the IS 456 code. When we are going to design a steel structure, we follow IS 800 code. Similar way for green buildings, there are various guidelines given by the different organizations in different countries. So how we design based on that, how we are building up and how we are renovating, how we keep in operation, how we are going to recycle the buildings after its life cycle. All that to put together as a green building. You need not think like green building is something which we have to build only new. The existing building, already constructed buildings also can be made as a green building by taking certain efforts. So the green building is a wholesome concept. First, let us go to the history of the green building. The green building, why at all this thought had occurred in the mid or the late of 1980s, when there was a war between the Iran and this thing. So there was a oil price hike throughout the world. So then it was like people cannot afford the energy. And the oil is nothing but a form of energy which fuels the whole world. So people were thinking we should cut on the cost on oil. How do we resource or use those oil? All the things came into the mind. So one of the concept was the green building arrived. Many thoughts arrived, and out of the construction industry, it was a green building which came out as a product. when once that cost had come down, people will always forget why it had started. So it was like same way the green building also, it was like people had forgotten again in 90s onwards, 19 until 20, until recently, people had totally forgot about the purpose of the green buildings. So it was like, after later we started now in the recent past, now the past decade, I mean, it was so much importance is given towards the environmental importance, environmental hazardness, how we are polluting the environmental in every aspects. All those are given so much importance. So the green building is again gaining a momentum in throughout the world, especially in India. So it is like throughout the world, the most carbon emitter is the US. So again, the same day only will provide some information on like how to control that also. So they had come up with this green building concepts also. And later we also started following. In India is in this 7th position in the overall achievement of the green building concept. The builder, it is basically the green building, as I said, it was incorporating environmental considerations. So the concept, how to do, what is that green building is different from that of the regular building. The green building is like first from the site selection onwards, every process involves you have to consider the environmental sustainability things. Why we want to go for a green building? Why not a normal building? First is that energy, water, and the resources which are used in the building to be efficiently used, reduced, reused, and the same 3R concepts we are going to tell. And what another thing is like protecting the occupants' health. It is like you can construct a building, but then the building is like asphalt, it was recently banned. So the same way, because you cannot construct something which will be hazardous to the occupant who is going to live there for a long time. So you should be careful when you are selecting the materials for the green building. And reducing the waste, pollution, and the environment because of the building construction and building's outcome. So like water treatment, other things which are being the daily part and regular part of the green building is also a concept. So what is the goal? The goal, ultimate goal is net zero energy building. It is like energy positive building. There is a concept of energy positive building, net zero energy building. Both it is like the energy what we are going to consume for the construction and the maintenance of the building. It should be like you should source that for yourself. It is like if you use the solar power panels for the for generating for usage of the energy in that building, it is like you are a net zero energy building. If you're going to be net positive, it is like you can save some more on what you're using. All that will be like goals of the green building. And you will be thinking this will be costing me more when I'm putting a panels extra and all those things. But then when you think of how much years it is going to repay you, all that will be considered in the green building concept. And now the green buildings have a more of saleability, or given government is preferring, government is giving more attention and loans and promoting green buildings, so that you will have those things also as an outcome of the green building. So you'll have a reduced energy cost, improved air quality, so improved usage of materials and resources in the building production. You will have a water efficiency, recycling waste and reusing them. Features of the green building, as I said, it starts from the site selection. What is the structural design efficiency, what you are doing for that, and the energy efficiency, how you are maintaining in that, and the water efficiency, the materials which you use for the construction of the building, the indoor environmental quality, that is the occupant's health, and the operation and the maintenance. It is like first you construct a building and the operation and the maintenance cost exceeds, or you that you are not taking into consideration of the building, then you will not, that building will not be considered as a green building. And again, we have the waste outcome of the buildings also to be reduced. That is the waste and the toxic reduction. The advantages is similar, the same way. The features will be turned into an advantages where you have the lower carbon print. That is the ultimate aim. And when we are using a recycled materials like reclaimed timbers and the wooden floors and the local materials and the natural forms of energy, that is renewable sources of energy like solar, wind and things. So those things all form part of a green building. Actually, in the green building system, as I told, different countries have different rating systems and different organizations who rate them. So the first concept, the first and the very popular concept is the LEED rating by the United States of America. So that LEED system is even Indian buildings are rated through LEED system. LEEDs also have this rating system is nothing but they have set of criteria. They will have 20-30 criteria on which for each criteria there will be some weightage. So the total mark for the building will be given for a mark of 100. Based on that, your rating will be gold, platinum, silver, like that. They will give you a rating. In India, based on the LEED system and other systems, we are following a system called as GRIHA. So I will explain a little bit brief on all these things. The LEED is nothing but leadership in energy and environmental design. Here, the prerequisite is that, as I told, there are many prerequisites. It is like basically to form a green building, there will be criteria and certain things you should follow to be taken for the evaluation itself. So the prerequisition first thing is like construction activity pollution prevention. That is for as per the LEED. And the water efficiency, water usage reduction during the construction as well as during the operation of the building, whether it is a home or it is a commercial building, all those things will be taken into consideration. And commissioning of the building energy systems. Building energy systems includes all the electrical and the water and plumbing system. And minimum energy performance, fundamental refrigerant management. And India, we have the Indian IGBC, that is Indian Green Building Council. We have three things: IGBC, BEE, that is Bureau of Indian Energy Efficiency, and the GRIHA system. GRIHA is under TERI. So this IGBC in 2001 it was formed, and then this is also to give a guidance and to how to go about the green building certifications and other things. Other one is the BEE. Here we have the energy reduction, and they gave a very broad guidelines on how to be constructed, and this you can see in their websites also. And here they have started the star rating system also for the office buildings, everything. So here they rate it in the star of 1 to 5, and then initially it is like air conditioned buildings. Based on the climatic zones, you should that ratings also will change. The most prominent and the most this thing is the GRIHA system. This was established in 2007. Here they give you 34 criteria on which the building will be evaluated for the sustainability. Here, the main implementation is the renewable energy. All the measures which we do, we knowingly or unknowingly, we will be doing all these things. Rainwater harvesting in Tamil Nadu, almost every houses will have that. We, by knowingly or unknowingly or forcibly, we do that. So that is also a part of a green building system. So it is like government provides certain schemes which will unknowing people will not be aware of the name of the system, but then we will be doing that in our daily life. Here we have the criteria on which I am here again. The 34 criteria will be weighted for 100 marks. So as I said, the site planning. The first will be the site planning. How you select the site. So that will be given 1 point. Like this, you will have a number of points which will be evaluated. Out of which, if you get 50 and above, then only your will be considered as a green building. I can just go through some of the points over here in that criterion system. That is the site selection. You have the site feature. That is why the site selection is important. Is you should not select a site where it is thickly populated and then you are going to construct there. You should have a provision for natural ventilation. Then that will add point in the further criteria. So it is like your site selection is important in that case. And similarly, the sourcing of water and sourcing of, because in green buildings, what we do is like we avoid artificial lightings. You see, when we are in houses, we generally, when we put tube lights in the daytime, our parents will tell, don't waste the current. You just use the natural light. Go and sit outside like that. Similar way, the green building system is taking advantage of the solar system so that you will orient the building in the site so that it will be naturally, lighting will be there, and you can take advantage of the air conditions, airflow in the generally in that area, so that you can orient the buildings in that way. So you can avoid the usage of the power. Power, if you reduce, it is again energy saving and energy consumption reduction. So it is indirectly building up with the same concept, which is nothing but That is why these criteria play a role in everything. So when you should not construct a building so that I will make it very green so that I will construct it in a forest. No, you should not destroy the place and then you construct a building. It is like you should be in a space where it is feasible and a little bit away from the thickly populated urban area, so that these things will have an advantage when your construction. And when you're construction, you should not be like polluting the marine environment, or you should not be near nearby river or lakes, anything you should not pollute to that. So all these things will be rated for your green building, this thing. So here, apart from the site related things, other than that will be the building planning and the construction stages. So how you for construction, we will be requiring water. So what that water, how to recycle and rebuild. And other way, the landscape now in all commercial buildings and everything will have a landscapes. So how that landscape will be watered in the future, and how that will be, because that is all like an operational cost. So here, as I told you, it is not only the construction, it is throughout the lifetime of the operation of the building. You have to take care of that efficiency. That is the green building's ultimate goal. Next will be like optimize the energy performances. Then we use the recycled materials like fly ash, that and all as the industrial waste. Now you can see in cities, no, there is nowhere bricks are used for the constructions. Only fly ash bricks are used for the constructions, because we don't get and sand also we don't get normal, which we get it in the village side or the things. We here only M sand is available, because it is, as I told, knowingly or unknowingly you are contributing to the green environment, green building, but because government is restricting that, so that you will automatically become the, you will tend to build it to the greener side. And renewable energy utilization. Now government has given many positive schemes towards the, when you are installing the solar panels in your house and these things, you will be having a energy saving and renewable resource. Even for the commercial buildings also, even for small scale industries, when the energy, when they are installing solar powers, they are given more preferences. More of positive this thing when compared to the normal consumers. And the next is the recycle, recharge, and reuse of water. So as I told, this wastewater treatment, the water recycling and reuse. We have the rainwater system everywhere now. So how you are going to use that water, and how you are going to use the recycle those water, and the wastewater which is coming out of very big apartments or very quick commercial buildings, how those are going to be treated, and then how they are going to be disposed. All that comes into the wastewater management. And the waste management, that is the solid waste management, like sewage management, all those also comes into this criteria. Next is the paint, and paints generally now we have all is like high VOC paints. Now they are reducing the content, so it is like eco-friendly. We are maintaining the paints, and whatever is the paints which would emit CO2 or that greenhouse gases are now banned, and then we are ensuring that we are going to be using the eco-friendly materials for the construction, as well as the architectural features. And there are in green buildings, there will be no smoking zones allowed, because that is also, it is like, as I told the occupant's health is a priority here. And apart from the occupant's health, it is the air quality maintenance inside the apartment. So here what we are planning is like, as I told, you're going to take the advantage of the maximum nature's air and nature's light only. So when we are going to pollute that, it will be like polluting the environment. So here, these are the certain things they have made it very stringent here. And apart from that, any innovation, if the construction plan manager or the planner is coming out, that is also given weightage here. So out of this, the 100 points will be coming out of the 34 things. So this thing will be this is just a brief, like I thought this will be, it will give a brief image of how the things are done in every places in a whole house. See, when you come to the roof, it is a rainwater harvesting system. That is, and that water can be used for a drinking purpose if it is very clean, or it is for the recycle of the toilets and bathrooms. And we have the solar panels, and if possible, we can install a small wind turbines at the top. And we have the solar panels is made mandatory in most of the apartments or any building, commercial buildings in urban areas. And then you have the composting. Again, in cities, here use in cities now in all metro cities in that matter, it is like now the waste segregation and the composting is made mandatory. It is a waste segregation based on the recycle and non-recyclable things are made, and the recyclable materials or the green waste, which is those waste are made to be compost in their self apartments or the commercial building there itself, and that is used for the landscapes. And whatever is the sewage treatment is also the similar way. So all these things will be like and the power wise, there are hereafter no more the old tube lights or this thing. It is all CFL bulbs, so that will there we can save at least 20% of the energy what we had earlier. So similar way, whatever is the water is recyclable, that is the gray water, that can be used for our non potable uses. And some of the other points which are taken into consideration for the green building are the access to the public transportation. Why public transportation? Because as I told, this green building is a holistic approach. So when you're going to use a car on the daily basis to travel for a workplace or anything, then again you are releasing your GHG, that is the greenhouse gases, to the environment. So to avoid that, we should use a public transport. When it is accessible, when your apartment is closer to a metro zone or a metro, or it is near to a bus stop, when it is nearer to a railway station, then you prefer to move to a public transport rather than a vehicle, because that advantage, you will have an advantage of economy, that is the cost, and you will have advantage of a comfort. So this both is there for a public transportation. So this is also a part of the green building. That is why the site location major plays a role. And maximizing the open spaces. Why open spaces? Because as I told, we have to make an advantage for the air circulation inside the building, natural air, not the artificially air conditioned air. So we tend to make a bigger windows and orient the windows in such a direction where we have a regular airflow in that area, in that region. Native vegetation. It is like and landscaping and anything should be done with the natural, local vegetation there. What is available? We should not import something from the foreign for the sake of landscaping. So if it is native, it will be like that soil will be, it is used to that soil, and the water consumption, everything will be for that purpose. So it will be like a benefit for both of it. And roof gardens, and night is lights and water aerators, alternate systems, or as I already told, like solar panels, wind powers, rainwater collections, and other things. Wherever possible, using the sustainable and durable materials like bamboos, recycled rubbers, recycled glasses, other things. And for this only, I told, like we have a habit of always recycling things in our houses. We sort and we recycle everything. So we Indians are already doing that. And we have the usage of the sustainable designs like natural lighting and passive cooling. So it is like when you orient the building in such a way that you will get a maximum lighting in the sun because of the sun, and you will, if you design it in such a way that you will have a maximum cooling throughout the day, you need not have an artificial air conditioner to cool your rooms. These are just a few photographic explanation of whatever I told here. So in the roof, you can install the roof panel, solar panels as such, so that it will be net zero requirement of the energy. And for the photovoltaic stepping, it is like you have this in the recent commercial building, and for payment and other these things, you can increase instead of putting a full concrete cement floorings or something, we can use pavements so that it is like it will allow the water to be recharged to the ground. So these things are some of the, and here we can use the terrace garden. Now terrace gardens are promoted in terrace gardens as well as the vertical gardens. It is like when apartments, we have apartments or any houses, like vertical garden, where you don't have space, you have to build when you have only 1,000 square feet and you have to build the house fully, then okay, at least you can provide a vertical gardens. So these things are being promoted now for this energy positive approaches. So how to reduce the water management during the construction and as well as during the operational of the building is like we can use the drip irrigation, which even the farmers use these days, and the native species of shrubs and trees to be used, low lawn area to reduce the water demand, and reuse of the treated water for the irrigation, low discharge fixtures, and you use the dual flushing system in the WC, and wastewater treatments are mandatory, and rainwater harvesting for the effective water usage during the constructions, and curing compounds which should be safety. And regarding the materials, we can use plaster or fly ash based plaster or mortars for the construction of walls and floors, and then stone or ferro cement jellies and local stone floorings, whichever is local to that area, that you can use it for the construction of the buildings, and then bamboo composites, this thing, which is available in that area, that you can use it for the. So now I'll list down some of the examples which we are, some of the benefits which we experience because of the green building. This is a proven record from 3 of the buildings, which is like Wipro, ITC, and Godrej buildings, where they have commercial buildings. They are, it is like if they would have gone instead of a normal, instead of a green building, if they had constructed a normal building, their energy consumption would have been high. So which got reduced almost by 40% to 50%, and their savings per year is this much. So over a period of 5 to 10 years, whatever they had spent extra for the green efficiency, that they will be getting it back. And similarly, that is in terms of energy, but similarly, in the terms of carbon CO2 reduction also, it will be in terms. So the green buildings are much more environmental friendly. It's not environmental friendly alone, it is more sustainable in our scenario. So some of the green buildings in India, and we have one in our BHEL Ranipet. It is an electronic shop which was designed exclusively by our own BHEL colleagues, and this was done various. I can list down the few of the salient features of this building in our BHEL. The plan and orientation for the maximum lighting, and it was designed in such a way that the plan, and as I told, the site orientation, so that here you will get the maximum lighting and the ventilation by itself. So you will avoid the artificial lighting most of the time. And here you can see the walls are curved brick walls for the stability. So it is all the industrial buildings are to be reinforced. Concrete design, but then for this, when it is, since this is built in such a way, curved brick walls, so these we avoided the reinforced structure, and then it was done in such a way for the maximum stability also. And the environmental friendly and recyclable materials like UPVC windows, door frames, energy efficient window glasses, aerocon roof tiles are all used for the construction of these buildings, and the local materials are used here. And the local vegetation plants were also, the landscape is made up of only local plants. And the low emissive paints and primers for the improved indoor quality was also fixed, and water efficient fixtures were there, and it is powered by the solar energy, which was supplied by our sister unit. And we also have the rainwater harvesting for this building. So these are some of the salient features of this building. I wanted to stress a point, one more building, which is India's Chrysler building. Here also it is a LEED Platinum. Platinum is the most highest level which had been given for any this thing. So here this building had been awarded in Powai, Mumbai. This had been awarded the LEED Platinum certification. Here I want to list down what are the main features in which they were used in this building. These were constructed available based on the local materials, sustainable energy sources, natural lighting and ventilation was ensured, adequate green spaces controlling the microclimate in the sense the local climate, and Mumbai is a coastal area. Based on that, they had planned all the landscaping, and here they have the other points like for saving energy, the frugal use of artificial lighting, that is like 75% of the daytime working. We generally, even in our offices, you can see we generally switch on the lights first when we enter the office. That is avoided totally in this Chrysler building at 75%. That is only other than the rainy season, that is hardly 2-3 months. Other than that, they don't use the daytime, the artificial light all. And the energy efficient air conditioning system had been used so that it will be saving on the electricity usage. And they had also building in such a way that the thermal leakage, both the inside and the outside, that is the prevention of the AC consumption, that is avoided. And here the server utilization also is like they had reduced, and then so much of electricity they have been saving. And waste sorting, that is, as I told, that food waste and paper waste, and other than that is sorted and it is recycled there. And to avoid the transport of the they have avoid the transport of the drinking water, they have the reverse osmosis system instead of the bottled water. So nobody is allowed to use the bottled water in their premises. And very scarce resource like papers, we use like printing papers. All this is also taken as very serious things. Paper cups. So people are not given any paper cups for even for a meeting. So all are given only metal cups. And water saving and recycling are very seriously taken as a very serious issue in this crisis thing. And other than that, we have few more buildings, that is ITC Green Center Gurhan. So which is like which is also ITC and the rain. You can many more things, like one more thing is the rain tree hotels, which is throughout throughout in Tamil Nadu, all the rain tree hotels, they had become eco-friendly or green oriented buildings. They have made it very sure that they will do in that such a way that they are eco hotels. And this is one more classic thing. The Rajiv Gandhi International Airport in Hyderabad, which is awarded the LEED silver rating, is a very prestigious project. And here they have minimized here they have constructed fully of a glass, so that it will be like a see-through glass, and you will be saving so much of material on, on artificial lighting is avoided in many places. And recycling of the total, water for the landscaping and air conditioning and the flushing requirements. And our Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly building, which is our very common thing we can see, that is also LEED gold rated building. And this is also let's know few of the features here. The energy, it saves energy of about 15 to 20, and water saving of around 40 to 50, and it have the rainwater harvest system. It have roof garden to reduce the heat island effect, and reuse of the 100% water for the landscaping and the flushing requirement. And the construction waste is recycled, and it is like whatever the construction waste in that site, it was 90% recycled. And electric charging fueling stations are now introduced in the parks. So we should be like, we should start thinking green, and if possible, whatever, when we are constructing houses or when our friends are this thing, we should suggest them something which they will turn it into green. And this is all about the construction or the home thing. Other than that, I want to touch upon a few points on the sustainability in everyday life. In everyday life, as I said, already we are in the process. I just highlight or emphasis on the point what we are already doing. It is like this is a few of the things which we do it in our house. It is like first thing is like we already as I told, we always recycle the newspapers, the milk covers, and other things. These are some more other things. It is like we never wasted a drop of a food item. So it is like, it is nothing but what you should not be, oh, you are cheap. No, cheap is different and frugality is different. What this sustainability is frugal. We are frugal in the sense we should not waste something which will be otherwise useful. We can recycle the old saris to make some gift purpose, or gift handbags, or the gift wrappers which are being used in all the birthday parties and other things. It directly goes to the dustbin. So instead that you can make some cash covers which you used to give for the wedding or any ceremonies, that you can recycle. Recycling in any form is again you are adding it to the sustainability. And the energy recycling, that you would have seen, like already our mothers or your wives, or they'll be doing like when the dosa dosa pan is hot, when they switch it off, they will keep a cup of water over that, so that will heat the water for some time. So that is energy saving indirectly. So it is for the hot water. Similarly, whenever possible, and when we use a pressure cooker, we don't put only a dal, we use some vegetables, we use a cup of other dal or something. So we used to try to minimize the energy whenever we are using in our day-to-day life. Those no, as I said, knowingly or unknowingly, we will be doing all that to save the energy and indirectly the cost. So that is nothing but sustainability. So as we can do the composting. It is like all the kitchen waste which we have that we can start doing the composting and use it for our gardens. And when we are using in the refrigerators, we can use not only refrigerators, or even in the dining table, we can keep a eat me basket. So it is like whatever is left over, that should be finished first before we are going for the new packets. That the kids have always the tendency of opening a new packet, or whichever they like. But instead we can stress upon this is going to be expiring, or this is already opened. So that can be used first instead of opening a new thing. So here are some of the tips which I had shared for the everyday life, which already you'll be doing, but I'm just resting upon here. Turning off the tap while scrubbing the dishes. Like when we are washing the dishes, we need not keep the tap open. Since the water is for free, we should not do that. Prepare a checklist of what the things we need to buy, and then we go to buy. Because when we do window shopping, we tend to buy a lot of things extra. And we should always think about there are two things. It is like when we see something, it is best before this date and expiry. There are two differences. Best before in the sense you can use it after that also, provided if the quality is not degraded. But expiry is something you cannot use it after that, after the given date. So if the best before had been passed by 1 or 2 days, or by a month, based on the product you use, you should judge yourself, and quality you should ensure, so you can use it. So that is the frugality. You should not think that you are cheap or a miser thing, but you are using the resource or the money spent on the resource wisely. If the portion of a vegetable is decay, people have a tendency to throw it fully. No, you should cut it, and you should at least use it left. And once you start using the leftovers, whatever is there in the fridge, if it is even if it is a 2 spoon or a 3 spoon, it is like you will start experimenting new things to learn how to use that, and you'll always enjoy how you use that leftover, and you'll always feel satisfied, but that you had not wasted anything on the food or anything for that matter. So then you can, like, if you want to put a milk for boiling, then you can keep the milk for at least you can remove the packet and then keep it for 10 to 15 minutes earlier, so that it will naturally cool down. You need not waste that for boiling in that energy on boiling that extra children, which will happen naturally. And as I told this, for cooking or reusing, whatever is hot, we can use we can reuse that energy. We can save energy on reusing that. While coming to the shopping point of view, we can avoid the impulse buying or the spur of the moment, and never go shopping before you are heating. After eating, if you go, the way you shop will be less. And when you're hungry, when you're going for a shopping, when you're hungry, you will always spend more. That is a general psychology. And even I have read that. I thought it will be very funny too, but then I had experienced it myself quite a time. You can also experience that when you can note it hereafter. So always avoid, always when you're going for a purchase, after a good full meal, so that you will spend less on the. And when you're online purchasing is one thing where you get offer, then we tend to buy more, and then we tend to waste more. So it is like whichever is the items which is not perishable, that is like which doesn't decay or this thing, those items you can buy in stock. Like you can stock soaps or washing powders or washing detergents and other things which will have lifespan of 2-3 years, so that you can buy in bulk for 5 kg or 10 kg, that you can buy in offer, then that is fine. But then when you're going to buy a eatable item or a perishable item, then it is not worth it, but even if you get it half the price. So next, this sales, Amazon, you should take advantage of all the Amazon sales or anything whichever is there, and you should take advantage of the offers or the credit card cash offers, everything. Now we are almost everybody is aware of all these things, so we have this thing habit. And once in a month at least we should try no spending weekend or no spending week. So this week I will not spend anything on this anything. I'll not spend even a penny on anything other than my basic requirements. I'll not spend something to eat or something to something for fun or something like that. So that will always make you to assess like what is necessary in your daily life and what is what is your artificial sense of spending. And the same way you should not buy an AC in a winter season. I mean, you should buy a AC in a winter season so that you will have some, because nobody buys that and nobody hikes the price in that. But when you buy it the same thing in the summer, they will tell you 50% offer, but then the price will be much more higher than what, because their necessity or the need is more in that season. So you should take advantage of the seasonal trends and then you should buy. And if possible, the clothes are whichever is out of season or out of these things, when if it is out of fashion, the prices will come down. When you are going to buy something which is in the hot fashion, then your prices will be like crazy. So all those things are it is like, it is not only money that matters, but it is also the indirectly the energy or the saving. It is the sustainability form of living. So once we start to practice this in our daily life, it will be like we will know what is important to us and what is the thing which we need. And the same thing will come to in all our habit. It will become a habit for us. And the other thing is like this generation, we always try to replace things rather than repairing it, including mobiles or any things in the houses, appliances. So it is like we should try to repair things at our own expense, or we should take some help to repair things so that it will save the cost. So that is also one of very much a value. I mean, it is a value item for the sustainability, and we should value quality and reliability rather than the quantity and the because when you are going to buy an item, even if it is going to be 10 rupees or 20 rupees, I mean, even if it is going to be 1,000 rupees extra, if you have a better quality and the reliability of some product, then you should go for that instead of something cheap, which we will get it at a very lower cost. And whatever is the community resources, we have so many libraries and we have so many community facilities in and around us. We should take advantage of all those things so that we'll be minimizing on the expenditure, and also we'll be minimizing on the sustainable sustainable things. When you have like-minded friends, you will be you will be tend to think and talk about it a lot. When you have all the friends who have a very good wants to save and these things, then you will be all, I mean, by knowingly or unknowingly, you will be always saving things up. And whatever is this unused items, you can sell it off or you can give it off to someone so that it doesn't occupy a space or the energy or the thing for in your house. And the final thing is like just switch off the lights and the AC when you leave a room. So these are some of the points I have. And here is all for my presentation. And if you have any doubts or anything we can discuss, so I'm here for that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Are there any questions? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, Mr. Krishna.
Sir.
Yeah, it's audible.
Are there any questions, sir? If there are no questions, I'll proceed with the vote of thanks.
1 second, I would like to just express my views that Madam Pyriadharsini has taken enormous efforts in bringing in all the aspects of everyday's life, and she has brought in many aspects like even a wastage in kitchen, right from that aspect to green building and its energy saving aspects, water saving aspects. She has covered everything in the day-to-day life's occurrences, even use of applications like Amazon, how you should do like that, and all. She had given a lot of tips that was very much useful. I would like to express my thanks for the sincere efforts and making this event a worthwhile and useful lecture program. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
On behalf of Ranipet Local Center and the chairman of Ranipet Local Center, I sincerely express my thanks. The formal vote of thanks will be given by Mr. Krishna.
Thank you, Sally sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam, for the presentation on sustainability in home and everyday life. She has beautifully presented, and there are a lot of takeaways. Thank you, madam. I would also like to thank the participants who have patiently listened to this program. And despite the heavy rain, monsoon outside, I would also like to thank the chairman, Mr. Saleh Manalan sir, and Honorary Secretary Engineer Vivek for arranging this presentation as a part of 100 Hours Techno Carnival of TNSC Center.